Just when you're ready, let me know. You can't complain about me being late ever again. Everyone good? Yeah. It's a beautiful day here at Suncorp Stadium. Of course, the stadium played host to the rugby last night, but this afternoon is the main event when the Broncos will take on St George. And we have a very exciting announcement today. The Broncos have extended their contract to play here at Suncorp Stadium for another 12 years. 12 years. That'll put them beyond the 2032 Olympics, playing here at Suncorp Stadium. Of course, it's the spiritual home of rugby league. The Maroons will play here on Wednesday, but it's also the rightful home of the Broncos. I've almost forgiven them for those few years they played at a different ground, but now well entrenched here at Suncorp Stadium for another 12 years. Suncorp Stadium, of course, is the best rectangular field in the world. It helped us secure the 2032 Olympic Games, and it's fantastic to know that the Broncos have a long-term home here at Suncorp Stadium, and I'm really pleased. This is the official key, the official golden key to the stadium, and I'm, on behalf of the Palaszczuk government, presenting it to Dave Donaghy, the CEO of the Broncos.
Thank you very much, Deputy Premier.
Over to you.
Terrific. Thank you, Deputy Premier, and on behalf of the Broncos Board of Management, I want to thank you and Premier, the Sports Minister, Stadiums Queensland. We've got Alan Graham here today from Suncorp Stadium, Harvey Lister as well. Look, it's certainly, as the Deputy Premier said, Suncorp Stadium is the home of rugby league, and for us at the Brisbane Broncos, there's no other place we want to be. Signing a long-term lease provides everyone with certainty, security, but also for our sponsors, our members, our fans, our players. It is without doubt the best stadium to play at in the world, and from a rugby league perspective, the best stadium to come and watch our game. There'll be 30,000 here today when the Broncos take on St George Illawarra at 4 p.m. And certainly from my perspective, driving in today, you still get the tingles when you see that the green turf driving through. I'm sure someone like a Zach Hosking, who makes his debut today, will be feeling that very thing when he runs on there. We've got our premiership reunion today, the 30 years celebration of the 1992 premiership team, one of the great teams of our club, and certainly those guys, forever their legacy is etched in the history books of our club. They helped put the Broncos on the map, but we'll recognise them today, and this arrangement gives us, as I said, certainty, continuity. It's a terrific home, and we look forward to being part of building Brisbane over the next 12 years and beyond, and playing our role here at Suncorp Stadium. So I'll pass over to Alan Graham to say a few words.
Thanks, Dave. Deputy Premier Dave, and everyone. I think it's fair to say that this place would not have been built if it were not for the Broncos. I don't think anyone could have justified, certainly government couldn't have justified investing in a facility like this if there wasn't a team like the Broncos that had the sort of following they did. And we're so grateful that they've made it their home for the last 19 years, and there's that much mutual respect and confidence between ourselves and Dave and his team that they've saw fit to extend their contract for another 12 years, which is very significant. I think it would be one of the longest term hiring arrangements between any club and any stadium, and so I think it speaks volumes for not only the Broncos' success but the opportunities that they've been able to deliver here at the stadium. Their performance, not only on the field but off the field, has helped the government continue to invest in this place to keep it up to the international standards that we all expect, and we're looking forward to working with the Broncos over the coming 12 years to increase the entertainment and the vibe and the facilities here at the stadium. And I guess one final thing, Dave, if you wouldn't mind just locking up on the way out. I'll hand that over to you. It's all yours. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Any questions?
want me to jump in? I'm just curious which doors this opens.
The Forex bar.
Look, for us it's a no-brainer to stay at Suncorp Stadium. We weren't looking anywhere else. It was a case of ensuring that I think both parties are happy with the arrangements long term. Long term's important. It certainly allows us to have discussions with the government and Suncorp Stadium management about the investments that we need to make into the stadium to ensure that, from a fan experience point of view, it continues to be world class and world leading. And I think those expectations will continue to increase over the next decade. So to have a seat at the table to be part of those discussions is something we're very much looking forward to being a part of.
Yep.
Okay. After you, Steve.
Given we're in the middle of the third wave of COVID, is the government recommending that wear masks?
The health advice hasn't changed. It continues to be to carry a mask with you and use it if you can't social distance.
We see any requirements change rapidly, so people be wary that these requirements change.
Well, you've seen the same health advice in place for some time now, and that is if you can't social distance, or if you'd like to, wear a mask. It's not going to hurt you at all, and so certainly I'd expect people people getting about today, knowing how much COVID was around. There's still a lot of people wearing masks, and if you're concerned at all, you should.
Which hospital regions at the moment have postponed elective surgery?
Sorry.
Which hospital regions at the moment have postponed elective surgery?
So I don't have that hospital by hospital, but what we know is that there is a very substantial impact on our hospitals. I think it's more than 700 COVID patients, as well as flu patients, taking up beds, thousands of health staff off sick because of COVID or the flu. That's having an impact on our planned care, but we trust our doctors and nurses and health professionals at the front line to make the decisions about how they can best deliver the urgent care that they need to, while ensuring planned care happens as quickly as possible.
Many Queenslanders will be eligible for 4th dose of the vaccine. The government will pop up clinics and major sport events here.
We haven't seen the need for that yet. Obviously, if there was the need and demand, we'd consider it, but our pharmacies and our GPs and our other vaccination providers should be well equipped to handle this 4th booster. We would still encourage Queenslanders to go and get their 3rd dose if they haven't got their 3rd dose, and of course more people can now get their 4th dose. We're really particularly encouraging people over 50 to get that 4th dose.
You just said that thousands of healthcare workers are off sick, but at the moment, as it stands, healthcare workers under the age of 30 won't be able to get their 4th booster tomorrow. Why are they not included when they are on the front line?
They're decisions that are taken based on the advice of ATAGI. They monitor the virus, monitor what's happening with the virus in other countries and around Australia, and make decisions based on when it's best for people to get those vaccines. So I think it's important that those decisions are taken by those health professionals, and that advice is provided to the Commonwealth. I think it's fantastic to see the Australian government take that advice very quickly and very proactively. That's certainly different to what we saw from the previous government.
Is the Queensland government considering any more restrictions at the moment?
There's no the Chief Health Officers continue to meet through the AHPPC. We continue to get that advice, but at this stage nothing has changed about the health advice.
What's the advice that kids go back to school?
The schools will have measures in place, the same kinds of measures that they've had in place for some time. They'll have hand washing available, that kind of thing, but there's no other advice at this stage.
How, at the start of the pandemic, the government was looking into ventilation in school classrooms. How many school classrooms have had their ventilation improved?
Education Queensland has been working with all of our state schools. It was fortuitous timing in that we were rolling out air conditioning at around the same time. We've now air conditioned all of our teaching spaces. That provides a great improvement to ventilation and to air filtering. The process of auditing all of those spaces I know is well underway. Education Queensland's got that well in hand.
David Christopher has told the LNP conference that the Department of Premier Cabinet for 20 days to approve Queensland before the budget. Are you aware of why it took that long? And what's the response to this claim that the government routinely censors the opposition's official infrastructure?
Well, I thought that statement from the Leader of the Opposition was quite extraordinary. You know, the way you use the platforms you have speaks to your priorities. And while Queenslanders have many things to be concerned about, I'm pretty sure they're not sitting around the kitchen table wishing they got more political junk mail from the LNP, wishing that the LNP could distribute information that contained lies. This is the same LNP who have been arguing that they support the independence of the public service, that they support the taking of public service advice. But then when the public service says that their claims about health cuts are lies, they dispute them. No Queenslander needs additional political junk mail from the LNP. These are the very independent public servants who David Christofouli has for months been saying that he respects. And now he is questioning their independence the second that they tell him that he can't use taxpayers' funds to distribute lies to the letterboxes of Queenslanders. This is how he has chosen to use his conference speech. Not to talk about cost of living or healthcare or jobs or any of the things that our government is focused on. He is choosing to use his platform to argue for more taxpayer funds to distribute his lies in LNP junk mail. Yes.
Andrew Laming has flagged his considering interpreting state politics in the next election. What's your response?
Look, I don't know what the question is, but Andrew Laming is not the answer.
As far as PPE for COVID, where are we at with N95 masks? And is the government still going through the right processes of fitting them to start?
Look, I'm not aware of any immediate concerns, and I'm happy to raise them with the Health Minister if you have them. I do know that we worked very hard to greatly expand the stockpile of PPE available to Queensland Health and to Queensland Health staff. Our number one priority is keeping them safe and healthy. When they're safe and healthy, they're able to keep the rest of us safe and healthy. So we now have stockpiles right across the state in all of our major regional centres. We have logistical programs in place to make sure that they can be moved around, as well as processes for fitting our staff to make sure that the PPE they have is fit for purpose. Look, that question's probably better addressed to the Health Minister or the Chief Health Officer, Jack. I'm just not as regularly engaged in those briefings as I used to be. But people should be assured that we will continue to monitor the situation very closely, continue to take the health advice, and as soon as anything changes, we'll communicate that to the public as quickly as we can.
All right,
Thank you.